Hey everybody, David the AI Guide here. Welcome to another episode. Thanks so much for tuning in. Really appreciate it. Happy Wednesday, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. Also, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support really makes a difference in terms of the growth of the channel and getting the word out about making AI human and preparing yourself for an AI-dominated future. So thanks so much for tuning in. Click the link below to get your free AI resource. Everything in the resource is free. It's a great way to learn more about AI. And check it out, and you may be able to join my course, the AI Safe Career Pivot, for free as a beta participant. If you do, click the link below. So thanks so much for tuning in. So today we're going to talk about NASA. And why are we talking about NASA if this channel is about AI? Well, you're going to see. And we do mention NASA and their AI work fairly often here because they're at the cutting edge of AI in many ways. But one of the things NASA does that's very cool is every year they put out a bidding process for private companies to help them develop new technologies that they need for space exploration. And one of those bidding processes is called SBIR, and another one is STTR. SBIR comes first. It's an initial grant to help for a company to get funded by NASA to help develop a technology that NASA needs. And then if you successfully get through that initial phase, you can apply for the STTR, which is more money, and really brings it from concept to development. So the SBIR is more creating of concepts. And when NASA does this every year, what they do is they put out what they call focus areas that they want to receive offers of development from companies for to help fix these areas that they need fixed in their development path. So there were 16 focus areas in this year's SBIR, covering a whole bunch of stuff, most of it not having to do with AI. But I wanted to call out a couple of areas where AI was front and center. So the first is autonomous systems for space exploration. And as you might guess, they're talking about AI there. And they picked about 11 companies to help develop applications for autonomous spacecraft. A lot of it has to do with specific types of processors called neuroprocessors. But there's a company out of Torrance, California called IntelliSense Systems that won a grant for developing adaptive deep onboard reinforcement bidirectional learning system. As you might guess, that's a deep learning system for autonomous spacecraft. And another example is let's see, sorry, just a second. Multidisciplinary analysis of fault management system design. So all spacecraft go into a fault mode at some time or another in their history. A very recent example is MAVEN, the orbiter around Mars that NASA launched, I believe, around 2010, that is studying Mars's atmosphere. That orbiter had a fault event back in February that put it into a safe mode, meaning the science stopped working for 3 months until they could recover it. So they want to use AI to help fix these fault modes that are happening to spacecraft that are millions and millions of miles from home and obviously can't be fixed on premise, at least not yet. Now they have autonomously maintaining mission objectives using fault management. That is a company called Singularity Intelligence Amplified out of Kinesis, New York. So one of the interesting things is these grants and awards go to companies all over the United States. I just happened to mention one in California and one in New York, but literally these companies are all over the country, and a typical first-time grant under SBIR is $150,000, which is meaningful money, to conceptually develop a technology to fix this problem of autonomous satellite management for NASA using AI. Another focus area, robotic systems for space exploration. Well, as you might guess, these robotic systems are AI driven now. We've talked about how AI is enabling the Perseverance rover to drive much greater distances over Mars all by itself, thereby cutting a month off of travel time recently to get to its new investigation site. So AI can have a profound effect on the performance of off-world systems. And in fact, one of the companies here is called Off-World. But let's see, they have, adapting novel terrestrial mining technologies for lunar excavation. This is an AI-driven robotic system by the company Off-World, which is based in Pasadena, California. Another example, an affordable-driven, human-in-the-loop perception framework, which means that this is a tool from company Picnic in Boulder, Colorado, that is designed to help manage satellites remotely for the human operator here on Earth. And usually the builder of these satellite systems, and there's several major ones, have teams of people that are responsible for operating these satellites, whereas the scientists do the science investigation, but they do not operate the actual satellite. That company is called Picnic in Boulder, Colorado. Another one, Gateway Robot Autonomous Planning, Execution, and Situational Awareness. This is Stotler Henke Associates in San Mateo, California. So why did I do this episode? As you can see, NASA is a prime driver of cutting-edge artificial intelligence by giving companies all over the United States money to conceptually develop new AI-driven systems to solve robotic space exploration in the second focus area, or the first focus area was autonomous systems. So NASA is a real driver of artificial intelligence through these funding mechanisms. Overall, I think they funded over 100 companies at $150,000 a pop, so that's $1.5 million. And then, as I said, there's fewer companies that are selected to go to the second stage, which is STTR. But the awards are much bigger, between $500,000 and $1 million. And so the total grants into that program to those fewer companies was $3.5 million. So NASA's funding about $5 million of research into cutting-edge artificial intelligence every single year. And that's very, very significant because AI is driven by NASA, by research at academic institutions, and we've talked about how that's concentrated at the large universities now because the tools and resources needed to program cutting-edge AI are so big that smaller universities can't afford it. But I did a video like a month or two ago about a new system to enable small academic institutions, small colleges to participate in the AI revolution as well by providing them the resources platform that they can use to do this development. And this will spread out AI research much more equitably across a much bigger number of institutions than has historically been true. So the cutting edge of AI is being driven by the government, and believe me, by far the largest single investment in artificial intelligence is occurring through the Department of Defense here in the United States. Now, I'm talking about the U.S. only. Other countries, governments are funding AI directly as well, most notably China, but also Canada, the UK, and the EU is jumping in now for all the EU companies, and other parts of the world are going to keep diving into this. Australian government does funding as well, not to mention other Asian governments. This is how AI gets done at the bleeding edge, right? Government funding, academic funding, and it's what's driving a lot of the progress in new territories that AI is being used in today. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please like, subscribe, and share. Click the link below, get your free AI resource. Get your opportunity to participate in the beta program, the AI Safe Career Pivot. And we'll see you for live on Sunday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time here in the U.S. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Have a good week. Bye-bye.